Magandang hapon UK, magandang hapon Europa, magandang gabi Pilipinas, kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ihahatid namin sa inyo ang kwento ng iba-ibang mukha ni Juan sa special program live streaming Juan You Connect Contra Corona here on Facebook and YouTube. Samahan po ninyo kami sa mga natatanging kwento ng Pinoy sa Europa na mag-iiwan ng aral, impormasyon at pag-asa. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal.
Ito po ang kwentong Pinoy, kwentong migrante, kwentong Juan, You Connect Contra Corona. Ako po si Jean Alcantara.
For our Contra Corona project for the next 3 months, the National Lottery Community Fund is graciously funding this project to serve the Filipino community in England, UK, and beyond. Jean, today we have 2 special guests to join us. One is an inspiring Filipina. She was actually one of the 100 most influential Filipina women in the world, given by FWN, or Filipino Women's Network, and it was awarded last year in France. She has successfully built a global beauty brand, De Moi, in just 2 years. The woman behind the success of this company is, of course, Pinay Demi Coach.
Okay, Rose, our Philcom Connect guest naman needs no introduction. Kilala siya sa UK, kaya lang lilipat na bilang ambassador ng Hungary at 7 pang teritoryo sa Europa. 2 taon pa lang, pero ngayon ay may send-off segment tayo para kay Ambassador Frank Cimafranca.
Jean, si Ambassador, yes, hi. Magandang araw po sa inyo, sir.
Yes, magandang araw din, Rose and Jean. And good morning, London. At greetings to all your viewers all over the world.
Sir, before you joined us here at the Philippine Embassy in London, you were also a diplomat to the UAE and you were ambassador of Philippines to Greece. And then 2018, nandito na po kayo sa UK. Pero ang bilis yata ng post ninyo, sir, sa Greece.
Yes, I had a very, very short stint there in Greece. There was some problems, which is, mahaba na yung kwento. But move on. We have to move on. The person I requested to be transferred to London while waiting for a new post for me to head.
Okay. And Jean, si Ambassador Cimafranca will be ambassador to Greece, but also to 7 other territories. Ano ba yung mga yon na hahawakan ni Ambassador?
Actually, alam po, Ambassador, sasabihin ko kasi alam po, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Montenegro.
So you're talking about you're asking about the areas of jurisdiction of my new post?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, I'll be ambassador to Hungary, but then I will also have concurrent jurisdiction over 6 other countries, namely Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, then Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Montenegro. So I'll be handling 7 countries all in all.
Oh, I see. 7 countries. Okay, sige.
Well, Ambassador Frank, 7 countries sa UK, isa lang yung hinawakan nyo. Hindi ba nakakapanibago yan na suddenly ang laki ng teritoryo nyo i-cover?
Well, dito sa UK naman, we have jurisdiction over the Republic of Ireland. So, at saka, well, UK alone is a big, is a big plate, so to speak. It's a very, very important country, not only in Europe, but globally.
Okay.
So, ibig po sabihin niyan na, sir, na dahil 7 bansa yung pagsisilbihan nyo, ika nga, ano yan, magpipresenta ba kayo ng credentials nyo sa 7 mga presidente o prime ministers?
Yes, that's correct. I have to present my credentials in all the 7 countries.
Mm.
So hopefully I'll be able to do that in the shortest time possible. Say by next year, dapat makompleto na para the diplomatic relations can move on fast and smoothly.
Okay. Sir, paano yan? Lockdown dito sa Europe. Paano kayo magkakapag-present ng credentials ninyo? Baka may online po na presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, that's what what they're doing right now. In Romania, for instance, they were already asking me whether it was I was ready to present my credentials by the 2nd week of December. So, but I would just be arriving in Budapest on the 2nd week of December. So it's not possible for me to join, in the presentation, in the schedule for presentation of credentials to Romania.
Oh, I see. Okay. Quite interesting. And then we saw some photos of you, sir, na yung sa oath-taking po ninyo. Saan po yung ginawa? Was that in, of course, that should be in Manila kasi nakita natin doon si Secretary Locsin.
Yes, that was immediately after we were confirmed by the Commission on Appointments. So the Secretary Locsin, invited us to his office at the DFA, and we took our oath of office there. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Sir, my question also is this. Bakit po kinakailangan na 7 teritoryo yung hawak ninyo? Is it because of the number of Filipinos in the area? Doon ba sa per territory na ito, kukunti lang ang Pinoy?
Well, the what you call this delineation of areas of jurisdiction of our foreign service posts is determined by many factors, no? And one of the factors is, of course, accessibility. No? And also the number of Filipinos is also one of the factors, of course. But you see, I am covering most of the what is called as the Balkan states. So that's why, because of their geographical, proximity to each other and its closeness to Budapest, that's why most of these countries are placed under the jurisdiction of our embassy in Budapest.
Okay.
Amba Frank, question lang, no? Kasi alam ko dati nakarating na kasi ako diyan sa British Embassy natin sa Romania, sa Bucharest, at sa Belgrade, sa Serbia o dating Yugoslavia, at sa Hungary, no? So bakit po nawala na yung mga embassies doon at ngayon nasa, obviously magiging kayo na ang magpatakbo ng mga affairs doon?
Yeah, it's like this, no? The first embassy that we opened in Eastern Europe was our former embassy in Bucharest, no, Romania. Because Romania was the first Eastern European country in which we established diplomatic relations, and that was during the time of President Marcos, no? And after Romania, we established an embassy also in Belgrade, Yugoslavia, when it was still one country. Because of our closeness to the non-aligned movement, of which Yugoslavia was a former, major player. And then later on, we established the embassy in Budapest. Unfortunately, way back in 2011 or 2012, we had to streamline and close some of our embassies. No? And one of those embassies that was closed in 2012 was our embassy in Bucharest. But our embassy in Belgrade was even closed much earlier, after the breakup of Yugoslavia. and there was, of course, a civil strife in that region, we were forced to close our embassy in Belgrade. So that's what happened. Right now, the only one that is remaining is our embassy in Budapest.
Okay. Sir, related to what you were discussing about the closing of some consulates, embassies. So, ang tanong po ng mga iba nating kababayan, bakit yung malalaking territory or for example, yung may mga bansa na may maraming Pilipino, sa halip na magbukas ng mga konsulada o embahada sa mga maliliit na teritoryo, bakit hindi dagdagan o focus na lang yung atensyon dun sa mga areas or territories na malaki po yung concentration ng mga Pinoy. That was, I think, the question when some of the embassies here in Europe, yan yung mga tanong ng ating mga kababayan.
Tama ka, Rose, no? We never close a post, whether it's an embassy or a consulate, in a place where there is a big number of Filipinos, no? Especially OFWs. So that's why when we tried to augment our workforce in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, in Kuwait, at that time, Congress did not agree, to the augmentation unless we will streamline. So we had to close many of our embassies, most of them in Europe, in order to for us to be able to augment our workforce and shift much of our resources to the countries, especially in the Middle East, where there's a big presence of Filipinos.
I see. So dahil actually, although Central Europe siya, hindi madali mag-travel para sa mga Pinoy across the countries. So ano po ba yung maaasahan ng mga kababayan natin pagka they have to do something na like renewing their passports or
consular services.
Consular service, yan. So paano po yung ano pong expectations na masasabi niyo sa kanila na gagawin niyo pagdating ninyo sa post?
Medyo choppy yung kan, Jean. I was not able to get
Okay.
to get
So
trying to
sige
say.
po, ulitin ko lang, sir. Ano po yung pwedeng ma-expect? Anong pwedeng ma-expect ng community pagdating ninyo sa post?
Maybe,
sir, can you hear me? Yes,
Zero.
sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me po?
Hindi rin.
Hindi, medyo choppy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
Okay. Sir, ang question po dito is, ano po ang pwedeng asahan ng mga Pinoy na nasa mga areas na malayo po sa Budapest kung magre-renew sila ng passport for consular services? Kasi hindi naman po biro ang dumayo pa po sa Hungary kung taga Montenegro sila or taga Serbia sila. Ano po yung pwedeng asahan ng mga Pilipino sa embahada?
Yun ang pagmahaba, medyo choppy yung
okay. Okay. Sir, kung ano po yung aasahan po sa consular services po para sa mga Pinoy na nandyan po sa Kasi sir, mahirap.
Yeah. Well, for consular our the embassy in Budapest will always be open to all Filipinos, in the region. So they can come to us for consular services, whether it's renewal of passports, dual citizenship, legalization of documents, yung mga ganon, mga civil registry. We can accommodate them. But at the same time, we also schedule consular outreach to each of these countries. At least I'll see if we will be able to accommodate in each country twice a year. We will have to do it that we'll be able to reach out to them, as often as we can.
I see.
Okay.
So, sir, to address the widespread geographical spread, no, magkakaroon din po ba tayo ng mga honorary consuls para kung sakaling may mangyari sa isang bansa, madaling makatulong sa mga kababayan natin?
Yes, it's very important that we have some presence now in these countries.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I would have to see is whether we have honorary consuls in each of these countries. What I know is that we already have an honorary consul in Serbia, in I think Montenegro, Bulgaria, and Moldova. So Romania na lang ang wala pa, no? So I will Romania and Bosnia, I think wala pa. So I will see to it that we'll be able to find one in these countries.
Sir, in total, ilan po yung mga Pinoy na pagsisilbihan ninyo doon sa 7 territory na ito? Kasi nanggaling kayo sa Middle East na ang dami-daming Filipino. Ngayon po doon sa area na kung saan kayo ma-assign, medyo kukonti ang Filipino. Do you have the number?
Well, yes, more or less. I have the numbers. For instance, in Hungary, there are about 300 or so Filipinos. In Romania, is the biggest number of Filipinos. Is about more than 1,300. Then in Bulgaria, more than 800 Filipinos. In Serbia, 80, about 80 in Serbia. In Montenegro, 27, I think, to be exact. And in Bosnia, about the same number, about 30 Filipinos. And in Moldova, 7 Filipinos. So it's about between 3,000 to 4,000.
Oh, 3,000 to 4,000. So, sir, I would assume na ang posisyon po ninyo, mas malaki ang gagampanan po ninyo in strengthening the ties of the Philippines and the territories na hawak ninyo in the political aspect of our relationship with those countries rather than serving the Filipinos in the area kasi kukonti yung Pinoy.
Well, yes, most likely could be kasi alam nyo naman na in Philippine foreign policy there are 3 pillars, the political and security, economic, diplomacy, and the protection of our nationals abroad. No? So siguro since there are less Filipinos in my area of jurisdiction, then I can concentrate more on the political and security and economic development pillars.
I see. So, Jean and Ambassador, alam mo parang it's quite surprising for me, marami tayong overseas Filipino. Pang-apat lang palang pillar yung protection of our workers, sir? Para sa mga pillar ng pang-apat lang pala po siya in the pillar of foreign diplomacy, yung sa...
That's the third pillar.
The third pillar.
Tatlo.
Okay. So talagang ang kahalagahan ng embahada, Jean, minsan nakakalimutan din ng mga kababayan natin pag yung may mga diplomat tayo na hinahanap nila at di nila makita sa mga ilang okasyon. Ang talagang pinaka-importanteng gampanan ng ating mga head of post ay yung pagpapalakas ng relationship ng bansang Pilipinas at ng post na hinahawakan nila.
Actually, sir, very interesting.
Of course, Rose. Yeah, yung kan Rose, the strengthening of bilateral relations, the traditional mode of strengthening is through strengthening of political and security relations as well as economic relations. So that is the traditional mode of strengthening bilateral relations. But then, since we have a lot of Filipinos working and living abroad, it has since evolved. The third pillar has since evolved. And we saw the need to ensure the welfare and safety of our nationals wherever they are. So that's why it has become the third pillar of Philippine foreign policy. And it is no less important as the other two pillars.
Okay. So it's okay. It's
Yeah.
important to note that,
Isang
Gina.
question po ako.
Okay,
Sir,
okay.
yung mga bansang hawak ninyo, actually, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Romania are EU countries. So may difference po ba ng approach kung EU countries or independent countries ang kausap nyo?
Oh yes, definitely. Pag bilateral, we we talk to them independently, whether they are members of the EU or not. So, like for instance, we know Hungary sometimes hindi sumusunod sa sa
Yeah.
EU.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you notice, in the Human Rights Council, Hungary departed from the EU, voting on the Philippine situation. So that's why it's important that we deal also with these countries individually and bilaterally.
Okay. Rose, may mga question yata from
Oo,
our...
I just want to make sure kasi we are talking over each other because of the connection. So I just want to make sure na si Ambassador marinig niya yung mga pagbati po sa inyo, sir, ng mga Filipino community dito sa UK na sinasabi po nila na good luck sa inyo. Nanunood po si Ronald Sipat ng Caviteños, si Lito Fami nanonood din at pagbati kay Ambassador mula po kay Virgilio Quizon sa Germany naman po yan, sir, ay good luck din daw sa inyo. At Chad, kung ma-post mo lang if you can pin it para makita din ni Ambassador Cimafranca ang mga Myla Makahilig, dating diplomat natin dito sa UK. Ma'am, thank you for watching. Wishing you all the best, sir. Ayan po, yung mga pagbati po ng mga kababayan natin dito sa UK. And syempre, mula sa iba-ibang panig ng mundo. May mga nanonood din po sa Pilipinas. Ayan.
I noticed some of these, the ones who posted. I know them, like si Virgilio Quizon, who is I think based in Germany. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Attorney Diaz is also watching. Hello, Ambassador Frank. You have been a massive asset to the Philippine Embassy. You will be missed. Okay, so
okay, so sir, may isang question lang ako, no. So dahil alam ko 2 taon lang kayo sa UK, pero siyempre napakahaba na rin noon para may mga mamimiss kayo dito. So ano po yung pinaka-mamimiss nyo tungkol dito sa UK o sa habang nandito kayo?
Well, maraming mamimiss, no? Especially here. The community I've become close to, the Filipino community here in London, despite the shortness of my stint here. But of course, London is, a very special place. No? London is London. It's like a world cultural capital. So me and my family, we have really enjoyed our stay here. And well, 2 years is not a long time, for us diplomats. Normally, the second year is the year wherein you are supposed to already feel your way, and get to be familiar with your work. And the third year is supposed to be the time when you become effective in your work. Because the first year is, spent to familiarize with your work, with the people around, So unfortunately, we had this major disruption, in the second year, which is the pandemic. Kaya medyo tayo, no? But nevertheless, we continued, to do our work in the best way we could. No? So, marami pa rin nagagawa, no? Even during the second year. Yeah.
May inbox lang sa akin, di ko nababasahin kung sino nagpadala ng tanong. Sir, yung pong nangangarap na maging kasing katulad ninyo, follow in your footsteps at maging ambassador in the future, ano po ang karera? Ano daw po yung stepping point, starting point nila para marating kung ano man yung marating ninyo?
Well, for the young diplomats, no, they just have to work hard. Well, they know the three pillars of Philippine foreign policy. So they have to know how to promote political and economic relations with the countries where they will be assigned, and also, of course, promote trade and commercial relations also, and also very importantly, they have to have a very good relations with the community. So kailangan na they will take care of the Filipino communities in their area of jurisdiction.
Mhm.
And that way, if they're able to do that during the course of their career, then they're prepared to become ambassadors.
Mm.
Okay.
Alam niyo sir, nung unang panahon nagtrabaho kasi ako sa Central Europe sa Poland, no? At covered ko yung mga bansang covered nyo ngayon. So, napakagandang lugar niyan. So, hopefully magi-enjoy kayo ni Mrs. Lou sa paglilibot diyan. So, makakasama niyo siya sa pag-ikot sa mga bansang 'yan. Siyempre, tira doon.
Yeah, especially when I present my credentials to the heads of states of these countries. Normally, the wife accompanies, or the spouses would accompany the ambassador, when he presents his credentials to these countries.
Mm.
So will be with me when I go and visit these countries. Even during consular outreach, if she wishes to come, then yeah, I'm sure she will come with me because there are a lot of interesting places to see in these countries, especially they say in Bosnia you have Medjugorje and Montenegro, the very small country and yet beautiful sceneries.
Mm.
Sir, ito personal naman ito, no? Kasi kilala natin si Mrs. Cimafranca at a lot of Filipinos here in London really appreciate her. Ang tanong po, kasi yung asawa ng ambassador parang asawa din ng first lady siya. Kasi siya yung asawa ng ambassador, so you're the head of post. How important is the role of the wife of the ambassador? Para siya kasi yung soft power sa embassy eh.
Totoo yan. Very indispensable.
Yeah.
The spouse is a very indispensable partner in an ambassador's work. Hindi pag wala kang katuwang, mahihirapan ka. So especially in your dealings with the community, you will not be able to find time all the time to be with the community, especially the women in the community. So importante nandoon yung asawa para siya na ang pag hindi ka pwedeng makipaghalubilo or you're not available then the wife will come in to fill in your shoes. So and besides that, women have very good sense, especially when it comes to culture and the arts. So sometimes they can contribute a lot of project proposals in these areas. How to enhance cultural relations, for instance, with the host country. mas magaling ang mga babae dyan. So they'll be able to contribute much in that area.
Okay.
Actually, Amba, sorry, Rose. Amba, alam ko napakalawak na ng experience nyo at saka siyempre ni Mrs. Lu, no? Hindi kaya panahon na para isulat nyo yung istorya naman para mabasa ng mga tao. What does it take to be a diplomatic spouse or indeed the ambassador?
Pardon, I did not get the previous question. Anong
Palagay ko po, it's time to write the story of a diplomatic spouse. Pwede po ba yan? O say, ano ba, kayo, but of course you're still in post, so baka mahirap, but at least si Mrs. Lu, baka she can write your story already.
Yes. Si Lu has always been a very good, a partner. Ever since I was a young diplomat, a consul or vice consul, we were in Malaysia, Indonesia. Alam niya yung mga problema ng mga Pilipinos doon. So when for instance in Malaysia and Indonesia, wala pa tayong mga OWA shelters doon. So our house will become the halfway house or the temporary shelter for abused or runaway Filipinos, no? And of course, hindi naman pwedeng tanggapin ko sila kung hindi papayag yung misis, no? So that's why it was who facilitated all this, no? And my work became even lighter because of that.
Okay. So mahirap din pala talagang asawa ng Ambassador Jean, no? Kasi una, wala naman silang sweldo, pero ang daming expectations sa kanila. And as the ambassador said nga, partner mo talaga siya, in cultivating relationships in your post. Now, on that note, magbabasa muna po ako ng mga greetings po sa inyo, Ambassador, ng mga kababayan natin. May mga nanunood. Sir, may mga nanunood na, watching from Bosnia-Herzegovina. So, nag-aantay na po si Josie Villaruel Arlante. Ayan. Happy na kayo dyan, Josie, na mayroon na po kayong new ambassador. Parating na po sa susunod na linggo. At yung mga nanunood sa atin mula sa Catanduanes, meron pa sa Pilipinas, mga nanunood. Mayroon akong nabasa dito kanina from Catanduanes. Juan is also watching from Pampanga. So salamat po sa inyo for watching at saka we'll try to read yung mga pagbati nyo kay Ambassador. Ito sir, meron pa ring nanunood o watching from Romania, si Eric de la Cruz. O ayan ha. So sir, okay. So ilan po sa Romania? Sabi niyo yun ang pinakamadami, over 1,000? Ang Pinoy? Over 1,000 ang Pinoy sa Romania?
Romania has the most number in my area of jurisdiction, about 1,300. Yeah.
Okay, 1,000. Oo, so talagang makikilala nyo sila dahil maliit lang yung Filipino community dyan sa
sa Kensington. Mas marami pa yung Pilipino dito sa Kensington.
Mas marami, totoo yan sir, mas marami pa yung Pilipino sa Earl's Court at sa Kensington. Wilhelmina Buado, hello sir, watching from Athens with love. Ito po yung dating post na hinawakan nyo. May bumabati rin po sa inyo. So, I think we have reached the time. Sir, medyo mabilis yung oras. Maganda talaga, mabilis tumatakbo ang oras kapag maganda yung kwentuhan. Mayroon ka pa bang tanong, Jean, before we ask the ambassador for his parting message?
Hindi, sa akin lang, sir, wag niyo na makalimutan, baka mapasyal kami dyan sa Budapest o saan man. Baka makadaan kami sa inyo.
Of course, Jean. You're most welcome, to visit us in Budapest.
Okay, thank you po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much on behalf of Juan Konek at sa mga Filipino community na nandito po sa UK. Salamat po sa inyong kabutihan ng puso for always granting interviews and for clarifying issues kasi yan po ang importante naman wherein media, kapag may mga tanong po ang mga kababayan natin, importante na nasasagot at nabibigyan din talaga ng atensyon. So your parting message, sir.
Maraming salamat, Rose and Jean, for having me here in One EU Connect. And I look forward to my new assignment as a Philippine ambassador in Hungary and in all the other countries under my jurisdiction. And I hope to visit all the Filipinos there as soon as I can. When probably the situation normalizes. And also look forward to be able to work to enhance our bilateral relations with these countries. Thank you very much sa inyong mga pagbati.
Salamat sir, more power. Babalik po ang One You Connect.